What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package, and infrastructure update for Monday, July 5th. Hopefully you guys had an incredible weekend. Hopefully you guys celebrated July 4th, did something fun, spent time with friends, family, and loved ones, and maybe even had a barbecue or two. Well, if you guys did anything fun, let me know what you did down in the comment section below. I'd just be interested to kind of hear what you guys did. I just spent time with my family. Now, here's what I want to address. The infrastructure talks at this point are actually holding up a lot of things. They're holding up relief for the American people. They're holding up discussions on potentially extending child tax credits. They're holding up talks on the student loan forgiveness. They're holding up talks on more relief for seniors. There's a lot of stuff being discussed at this point. The problem is, right now, it's questionable whether or not this large infrastructure package is even going to pass. What we are hearing right now is that many lawmakers are proposing different ideas to other lawmakers about relief for seniors, relief for the elderly, more assistance for those that are on a fixed income, people that are on Social Security benefits. That's what we're hearing. But the problem is, lawmakers are saying at this point that they need to get this bipartisan bill passed first. Once this bill is passed, and only then can they work on more of a social infrastructure package, which could include things like expanding Medicare and bringing the eligibility age from 65 down to 60, also including dental, vision, and hearing. Those are three big things that are very expensive. We're also hearing that right now, the Biden administration is still not discussing that $200 per month boost, mainly because it's something that experts or advisors do not think is needed at this time. They are saying that right now, if we figure out infrastructure, if we get this social infrastructure package passed and negotiated, chances are it's going to include Medicare and the expansion of it. We will most likely see people that do receive Social Security, they will also receive additional boosts as well, other stimulus included into these packages. Again, we might see, and these are just different reports, these are just different proposals, but we know Senator Sherrod Brown, he wants to see a roughly 31% increase to Social Security benefits. This is going to come out to roughly, on average, about $280 as a boost per month per person. That's a huge boost, and that's on average, all right? So just keep that in mind. A 31% increase, and the purpose behind this is to get Social Security benefits from where they are now up to meet that federal poverty line. And that's about a 31% jump. So we will see if this gets pushed any further. This was actually a proposal that was introduced sometime last year. I think it was like March, maybe it's probably May or June of last year in 2020, but this was reintroduced about 2 weeks ago. So that's actually pretty good that we are seeing a reintroduction of old bills, because those were already written. Those have already been kind of outlined by the Congressional Budget Office. We kind of have the score on those. So these are things that are good to bring back up, because you never know. Maybe it didn't pass last year, but now might be a different economic climate and we can pass it this year. So that would be great news for many seniors. We also know right now some are saying that stimulus checks are still being considered, but if stimulus checks are passed, then additional relief to seniors will pretty much be gone. Or if we see additional relief to seniors, then it puts stimulus checks in question because of the same fact. Why would we pass additional relief to seniors and then on top of that give them a stimulus check? Some lawmakers say that that's not right to double dip and get additional benefits as one person. But again, with unemployed people, this was never an issue. They got unemployment benefits. A lot of them got rental assistance, nutrition assistance, right? And on top of that, stimulus checks. And so even though lawmakers are saying that we need to either pass rental or pass stimulus checks or, or pass additional relief to seniors, it makes absolutely no sense why you would do that, but there was just discussions on that, so I thought I'd bring it up. We also know Senator Sherrod Brown once, and others actually as well, but the reason I reference Sherrod Brown is because he's been pushing for a boost to Social Security for about a year, and actually a little bit longer than that. But this is something that he's really pushing for. He's adamant about getting this included into the next proposal. Here's what I can tell you. He wants to index Social Security with inflation. And here's the reason why this is so important. Some are saying that if we see the economy shift, and the problem is we're most likely going to see some form of inflation. That is good if you own assets, if you own real estate and stocks and things like that. It is bad if you don't have any savings. It's bad if you're on a fixed income. It's bad in many ways. Many people are going to be hurt simply because of inflation. But what he is stating is let's index Social Security to inflation, and let's guarantee about a 3% boost every single year. A lot of people were saying, and I read the comments, I know what you guys were discussing, a lot of you guys were very upset when that 1.3% cost of living adjustment came out. I thought that was extremely low. At that point, before we even knew the exact figure, there were many reports. There was even a group of senators from Oregon, I think it was 2 from Oregon and 1 from somewhere else. They were actually proposing about a 5% boost, a 5% cost of living adjustment on top of a roughly 3.2%, I believe, at that time. And so some are saying that if we could see something close to 5 to 8%, that would be substantial. That would really help out the American people. That would help out people on Social Security, and that would help out those on a fixed income. Now, what we did see the other day, there's multiple stories. I know Forbes ran a story on it, Bloomberg, CNN, and also Yahoo Finance, is that we will potentially see a 5.3% cost of living adjustment in 2022. That's going to be big. I think that's the second highest cost of living adjustment we've ever seen. The last one was at 5.8%. This was back in 2009. And if you remember back in 2009, that's when we had that financial crisis that a lot of people are still struggling to get out of. Now, what I can tell you, this next infrastructure package, this bipartisan bill, here's the problem that we're seeing at this point. This bipartisan infrastructure package, this American Jobs Plan, is being held up because progressives and even Nancy Pelosi last week, I believe on Wednesday, she stated that it is her goal to get both bills passed. And if both bills have to pass, this is the American Jobs Plan and the American Families Plan, that's the budget reconciliation bill. If both bills have to pass, then she wants to make sure that they pass around the same time. Not push forward with a bipartisan bill and then hope and pray that moderates in the Senate and moderate Democrats all over decide to, let's go ahead and pass an additional package on the heels of this bipartisan bill that Senator Joe Manchin was a part of crafting and creating, because he will most likely backtrack. Even though he says he'd support a $2 trillion Democrat-only proposal, chances are, at least according to experts, that he would not support this, because even though it came out of his mouth and these were his words, many experts don't anticipate Joe Manchin would support this, because that would make him look very bad, because he was the one that helped craft and prep and put together the framework of that $1.2 trillion 8-year infrastructure bipartisan bill. And so some are saying that it would look bad on his part to go ahead, create that one, come over to this budget reconciliation and help with this one, or put in his 2 cents here, because he's kind of getting what he wants over there, getting what he wants over here, and yet some are not going to get anything that they want. But this leads us into what progressives are doing at this time. Progressives say we need to provide more. We need to provide more. We need to go big, bold, and robust, and we need to provide an infrastructure deal now. What they are saying, and what Bernie Sanders has been pushing for, is for this expansion of Medicare. Medicare for seniors, Medicare for people that are in need. What I can tell you is, because of the lengthy discussions that we're having on infrastructure and potentially seeing a delay on this, if we see a delay on infrastructure, and this is a bipartisan bill, if we see this get delayed, which chances are we're not going to see a lot of discussions on this, it's real discussions and possibly bill moving discussions. We're not going to see this until the Senate gets closer to coming back to Washington, which isn't going to happen until July 12th. So what we know is that right now the discussions and the plans are still in motion. Even though there's an agreement, a tentative agreement on this bipartisan bill, we do know that things can change. So my expectation off of reading many reports over this past weekend is that we are going to see changes. We're going to see multiple changes. This bill will not look the exact same. Some of the figures may get changed a little bit. My guess is Republicans are going to get their way. It might come down a little bit, but the way it gets modified or changed is going to have a more Democratic touch to it. So I wanted to bring this up because if this bipartisan bill gets delayed, here's what we know. This gets delayed until, let's say, the end of July. Okay, great. Well, that means Congress will go on recess for all of August, okay? And then they'll come back in September. They'll probably be working on a government funding bill at that point. They'll probably still be working on the voting rights bill at that point as well. And there's other things that they'll be addressing too. But they'll be working on that, while at the same time, this budget reconciliation bill is still sitting in the background, still being worked on, still being negotiated. We may not see this until possibly the middle to end of September. We may not even see this in September. It may go past. And so what we're hearing at this point is just expect these delays to continue. My guess is they will continue for some time. My guess is lawmakers are fine with that because by continuing to delay these different bills, one, Republicans are getting their way. This is exactly what Mitch McConnell said, that he wanted to stop the current administration from passing any meaningful legislation, which is exactly what he's doing. So he did stick to his word. But Democrats, the reason they might want to see this get delayed until September is because that is when we will have some more reports and data over the child tax credit payments, how they're actually impacting the United States and the economy and the American people. We'll also know what's going to happen with the unemployment benefits. Are they going to cancel, which many people expect they will? It's not going to be in the next infrastructure package. And if it does, how will that impact the economy as a whole? And on top of that, we got the eviction moratorium will end at the end of July and the end of next month. So pretty much in 30 days. So we're going to have a lot of answers coming up very soon. But as we get more answers, I promise I'll fill you in on all the updates there. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday afternoon, Monday morning. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.